What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, coach of your Montreal Milotic, bringing you our draft analysis for Season 4 of the BBL. Now, if you guys don't know, the BBL is the Bandless Battlers League, which allows some ridiculous mons in the format. Last season, we actually had every single mon available except for, I believe, Mega Rayquaza. So, yeah, this season's a little bit different, though. There are quite a few bans. And unfortunately, because Sword and Shield decided to have a massive dex cut and the majority of the mons that are not allowed are legends, it means that we don't really have the opportunity to draft many legends in a Wi-Fi format. Because of that, it's going to be on Showdown this season. So hopefully, by the time BBL Season 5 comes around, we'll be able to have it on Wi-Fi and all the timer will be fixed up so we don't have to run the LAN timer either. So fingers crossed for that. But anyways, this is going to be an interesting season. We ended up with the, I believe it was the third pick in the draft, and that's a pretty solid spot. There was basically, I could be guaranteed to get the exact mon that I wanted to get, so I was happy with that. Yeah, and I should probably mention, this draft is going to, or this season is going to be taking place under the National Dex Unrestricted tier. That means that every single Pokemon that's ever been made is available to be used, except for the ones that are banned, of course. So like, I believe Mewtwo is banned now because it gets Nasty Plot, which is ridiculous. So Nasty Plot, Recover, tons of great coverage move, the amazing speed it has. So that's banned. There's a couple other mons that are absolutely busted. I believe RCS Normal was banned, RCS Fairy, kind of stuff like that. There's a few RCS forms that were allowed. And the most notable one was Arceus Dark. That's what I was really hoping to get. It was going to be my first pick. And if I can actually see where the first pick was, where am I looking for? I'm looking for it right here under the new season. Yeah, so Arceus Dark was my first pick that I wanted. I really wanted that. Unfortunately for me, it did go first overall, which does suck. So, but yeah, it was the best mon. The only thing is that because of its points at 24 out of our 120 point budget, it meant that whoever drafted it couldn't get a second Uber. So it was just Arceus Dark as your only Uber, and that was it. Second pick was Zekrom, which makes a lot of sense. It gets Dragon Dance now, which is ridiculous. Dragon Dance, you get Roost, you get access to all your ridiculous physical attacking moves like Outrage, Dragon Claw, Fusion Bolt, and Bolt Strike. And then like another bunch of physical attacks like Iron Head for deal fairies and whatever. So the fact that Zekrom only had 95 base speed and now get boosted by the Dragon Dance makes it a lot more terrifying. But then it comes to us, and my main pick that I really wanted left, and that really sucks. So yeah, but there was mons like Zamazenta, but the crowned Zamazenta, Zacian was banned actually. I believe Zacian crowned as well was banned. So there's that. But I decided to go with Lugia here. Now, why Lugia? Well, Lugia was 23 points, so it allowed me to get a second Uber if I chose to do so. It gets access to multi-scale, which is absolutely incredible. Its bulk is honestly ridiculous. It has 110 base speed, and first of all, shout out to Jay. He's the one that first brought this up, but I definitely agree with the point. Lugia, the problem with it isn't its bulk. It's got 106 HP, 130 defense, and 154 special defense, and you might be saying, how is that not a problem, especially when it gets Calm Mind, it gets crazy coverage on both physical and special sides? Is that its speed is at 110, which means you can get up a sub against pretty much everything slower than you, and then make sure they can't toxic you. And that's Lugia's bane. That's the bane of Lugia's existence. It hates to be toxic. So with multi-scale up, with sub, with Roost, with Calm Mind, and you can just run Aeroblast, you're good to go, especially because flying is one of the best typings offensively in the game, and Aeroblast is one of the best attacks in the game. Yes, it only has APP. Yes, it has a 5% chance to miss. We're just going to hope that we don't get the chance to miss, and hope that we don't need to beat all of our opponent's Pokemon with just Lugia. We can hopefully maybe get a couple kills with our other mons. But Lugia is incredible. It gives us an amazing ground immunity. It gives us an amazing fighting resist, being 4 times resisting fighting, which is incredible. The introduction of heavy duty boots is massive because it allows us to always have our multi-scale intact no matter what, which is very important, especially to take some hits. Maybe a 2 KO becomes a 3 KO with the fact that we have our multi-scale up, which is very important. So you never know. Lugia is really impressive, and I'm hoping it can do a lot of work for us. Flying is an amazing type, especially when you have good flying stat that's special. So fingers crossed to have Lugia put in the work for us this season. Now our next mon, I was really looking at getting Mega Blastoise on the way back. It was 17 points. Blastoise now gets Shell Smash if you guys didn't know. So if you guys have a chance to, go ahead and try and grab that thing because it's absolutely terrifying. It's a really strong mon, but unfortunately for us, it did get sniped. So we had to go with something else, and I really wanted something that paired well with Lugia. I was debating between Megalopunny and Mega Mawile. Mega Mawile helped me handle those dark types, and the dragon types, obviously, just like Megalopunny does for the dark types. but its speed isn't as good. Lugia helps Mega Mawile more than Megalopunny helps Mega Lugia. And the difference between, I guess, this is weird to explain, but Lugia helps Megalopunny only a bit less than it helps Mega Mawile. So in the end, I decided to go with Megalopunny here. It gives me a ridiculous amount of speed at base 135, which is absolutely incredible. So right now my speed tiers are really good at 135 and 110. We gotta get something between that range at some point, so hopefully we can do that. But if we don't, it's not the end of the world. But still, we have a ton of great speed right now. Scrappy is still a thing. We do have access to Return or Frustration because we are playing with the unrestricted decks, which is nice. We have Fake Out, Ice Punch, High Jump Kick, and Drain Punch. We have tons of great options for coverage, and we also have access to Healing Witch, which is very nice, and other priority to benefit us as well. So Megalopunny is a really solid mon here, hoping that can do a lot of work for us. It was only 17 points, which means at this point we've used up 40 points of our 100 and I believe it was 20-point budget. So yeah, I mean I'll take it. It was a good pick for me, and yeah, but moving on though to our third pick, I was really unsure about what to take here. I felt like, again, I need something to help deal with Lugia, and in the end I decided I need to grab something that would be able to give me hazards. It would be able to give me good speed tier again. It would be able to give me a way to deal with what's the word I'm looking for, ghost types. So I decided to grab Krookodile here. Krookodile is solid. Obviously, it's an electric immunity for Lugia. It's a psychic immunity for Megalopunny. It's insanely bulky with its access to Intimidate, and its attack is really solid too at base 117. It also continues our trend of having really solid speed at base 92. It gets really good moves on Knockoff, Stealth Rock, Taunt. It gets Earthquake. It's Rock Slide now. Basically, it gets whatever you need it to get. It pretty much does, which is awesome. I guess Low Kick as well for some heavier steel types that maybe we are okay with taking ground type moves. I don't know, maybe like what resists, maybe like a Ferrothorn or something. I don't know, you never know. But anyways, it's a really solid mon overall. Gets Toxic of course because it was available post pre-home. Or pre-Sword and Shield, I mean. So yeah, the big thing was it gives me hazards. It was a cheap ground type and a cheap dark type that really helps me out with the ghost types. It gets Pursuit and Knockoff, which is absolutely incredible. And yes, you might be saying Pursuit is not legal in Sword and Shield. Exactly. Even though it's not legal in Sword and Shield, because we're playing on Showdown, we're able to actually have Pursuit here. And even though I kind of hate Pursuit, I really don't like it as a move. It just annoys me a lot. I can't deny how helpful it is against those ghost types. So that's exactly what we have it here for. Our next mon is going to be, we went down the path, and I really couldn't decide what I wanted again. Eventually, I kind of said, you know what, I need answers to ground types outside of just Lugia. I need a way to deal with water types because at this point it's basically just Lugia, and I can't have Lugia be my answer to everything. And I decided to go ahead and grab Serperior here. Serperior is really solid because, again, it gives me more speed at base 113. It gives me a good wall breaker with Contrary and Leaf Storm, so I get to get my +2 boost in special attack while firing off really powerful 130 base special attacking grass moves. It gets decent coverage like Dragon Pulse. It gets all the hidden powers. It gets Defog as well. It gets Aromatherapy to potentially get rid of some status on Lugia. It gives me Glare for speed control as well, and still gets Knockoff and Dual Screens, which is also very nice. So you never know. It's also another fast taunter, which is really solid for my team because if I can taunt my opponents, then they can't status Lugia. They can't go for a Will-O-Wisp on my Lopunny. They can't go for a Will-O-Wisp on my Krookodile. So I'm very happy with getting Serperior and having Glare and Aromatherapy and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, other than that, it's just like it's hard to explain because I've never used Serperior with Contrary before. I've always had it used against me, and it's the biggest reason why I drafted it was because it was a bulky water answer. You look at my team. Yes, we don't have any water resists outside of Serperior now, but the reason why I want to grab it is because it helps with those bulky waters that Lugia would have a hard time breaking. That have Haze. It would help with the bulky waters that honestly Lopunny would be able to 3 KO, but it can't 2 KO. So it can just go for a High Jump Kick. They can recover. They can Haze. They can just stop me from doing whatever. They can Scald Burn me, which I don't want happening. And obviously Krookodile just loses to bulky waters 100%. So Serperior is here. Hopefully it can do a lot of work for us. I believe Glare is going to be one of the most common sets. Sub-Leech Seed as well is going to be coming a lot. And other than that, Leaf Storm is probably going to be a staple on every single move set of Serperior that I bring. It was also 14 points, just like Krookodile. So at this point, we have, that's 68 points out of our 120 point budget, so we've used over half our points already, which is insane. And I'll tell you guys right now, we've only drafted one more mon that was over the 10 point marker, so we have to fill out our team with quite a few I guess mid-tier mons that are going to be doing a lot of work for us, hopefully. But anyways, again, because it's an even pick this time, we have a wheel pick, quote unquote, coming up soon, and that is going to be our next mon. And again, I need something to help me deal with what is it called? Oh my god, bug types, with dark types as well, just something that helped me deal with fighting types even more than just Lugia would be. And it also gives me access to Wish and Heal Bell, and that is going to be a fairy type. And I decided to grab one of the fairy types that I've really enjoyed using so far in Sword and Shield, and that is going to be Aromatisse. Aromatisse is super solid. It's our first slow mon, being at only base 29 speed, but it's got really good stats all around. The fact that it has 101 HP is tremendous, even though it's only got 72 base defense and 89 special defense. Because of its high HP stat and its great typing, you can really pair it with some amazing EV spreads that would really allow its moveset to be as solid as possible, as good as possible. It gets Aroma Veil, which means I can't be taunted, I can't be disabled, which is very useful. I can't even be Encored, which is also very nice. So it's just really good in that regard, but it also makes an amazing sweeper in Trick Room. Nasty Plot with Trick Room, with Moonblast and Flash Cannon or Psyshock or Thunderbolt or Energy Ball. Just it gets a ton of really solid moves all around with the fact that it's, I believe Energy Ball wasn't able to be run on it in Sword and Shield, but now that we have home open, we can use Energy Ball now, which is amazing. But the big thing is it's a fairy type. It's a dragon immunity, which is very nice for us. So I'm hoping that Aromatisse can put in the work. I don't see it coming to every single match, but it's still really solid. It's going to be even better now because we have other walls to support it, like Lugia and a couple other mons going forward. So I'm hoping it can do a lot of work for us. Moving on though, our team is still missing a bit of answers to psychic types. We do have our Krookodile, but still bulky enough psychic types should be able to handle us, even though Krookodile is super strong, because if I go for a knockoff and they have a Culberberry, then my second knockoff isn't going to be doing as much and they could recover up the health. Crunch probably won't do a kill because it's only AB base power, so you never know. But because of that, I decided to go ahead and grab a mon that, again, I've drafted quite a few times now, and I drafted mostly in leagues that allow post-home moves because Vicabolt is absolutely incredible. It gets access to Sticky Web now in Gen 8, which is amazing. Gen 8 Sticky Web, fantastic. I would definitely take it. It's an electric type that is immune to ground type attacks. There's also a bug type, so it resists fighting types again as well. Yes, it's weak to rock. Yes, it's weak to fire. But that's not that bad of a weakness to have. I believe that's the only two weaknesses it actually has, which is really good. It gets access to Defog and to Roost, which is very nice, so it can be a defensive set as well, which is super. It doesn't even need to have that much special attack investment because its special attack is at 145, which is absolutely massive. And its ton of key resistances is just incredible. The fact that it's a bug type that is not weak to flying types is amazing, so I can just hit it with a super effective Thunderbolt or super effective Discharge or whatever the case may be. It gets agility to be a sweeper. It gets access to Air Slash on the special side, as well as all the hidden powers and Flash Cannon to deal with fairy types. It's just a really solid mon. It gives us our first bit of momentum outside of Baton Pass from what is that called? Megalopunny. So I'll take it. I really need to, at least, honestly, because look at my team. Actually, throughout, I think this is my only mon with actual offensive ways to get out of my opponent's lock or something, or my opponent's team. So Voltage is going to be very important for us. It's a great pivot. Hopefully it does a lot of work for us this season. I drafted it quite a few times. I'm really hoping that I can put in the work. Yeah, there's really not much I can say about it. It just having access to webs is going to make my fast mons already even faster and really benefit my team if I'm going up against something like Sand or Rain, or going up against something that has a bit more speed, something like I believe Zamazenta Crowned is pretty fast. So yeah, we have to deal with that. But anyways, it is another answer to bulky psychic types, another answer to bulky water types, and I will definitely take that 100% of the time. So Vicabolt's on our team. So at this point, again, we have spent, 68 points plus 8 for Aromatisse is going to be 76, plus 7 is going to be 83 points out of our 120 point budget. So we're kind of low on points, and looking at this, we're still missing a few very important types and very important resistances. One of them is going to be a fairy resist. So I need to grab something like that. I also need to grab a water type. So I'm feeling, I have a good option coming up here. It could get sniped. I was really hoping it wouldn't get sniped, and thankfully it didn't. I actually sniped quite a few people with this pick, and that is going to be Qwilfish. Qwilfish is very important here because for the first time, actually, you can run Swords Dance and Aqua Jet. Previously you couldn't do that, which I don't really know why you couldn't do that, but now because of home being legal and Qwilfish being one of the mons that was added to home, I believe, I think that's what is that the reason, or is it just because we have the specific tier? It's either because we just have the specific tier that we're in, or because of home's existence we can run Aqua Jet and Swords Dance with the way that the breeding system works. but still, it gets access to Spikes and Toxic Spikes, which is two things that I really wanted to have to pressure my opponent with all the offense that we do have so far in Serperior, Lopunny, Krookodile, and Lugia. So it's really solid. It gives me another Intimidator, our second one, which is absolutely phenomenal. It gets Recovery and Pain Split, which is good enough, I guess. It's another Taunter. It's fast. It gets Thunder Wave as well. Like, being 85 base speed is really good, and it has enough attack to make sure that you can do good damage to it, or good damage with Qwilfish. And it's our first fairy killer, quote unquote. So very important, very needed. It's a water type, so it resists fire types for us. It's our only fire resist at this point as well, so that's important. So I'm hoping that we can do a lot of work with Qwilfish. We just sniped quite a few people. I was really looking at getting Tentacruel, but Tentacruel was more expensive. Tentacruel just, to me, didn't provide what our team needed as much as Qwilfish did. So I think Jay was one that suggested it. So shout out to Jay. Jay, Aaron, who else was there? Oh my god, I gotta go back and look at my front office for BBL, because there's tons of amazing help that I got from a lot of people. Brain, Metal, Spanik, Henry, all were very, very helpful. So shout out to those guys for all the help. Moving on though, again, like I said, it's a wheel because we're getting back to an even pick. Or is it not even pick? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it's an odd pick. So we have our even pick now being our wheel pick here, and that is going to be Doublade. Doublade here is amazing. Doublade is 8 points. It has 150 defense, which is incredible. It's actually higher than Aegislash's defense, and we also get access to Eviolite now. So Eviolite Doublade is super, super bulky. It only has 59 base HP, but it's a really good defensive wall. It gets access to Swords Dance, it gets access to Priority and Shadow Sneak, gets Iron Head, gets Shadow Claw. I believe it gets Close Combat now as well, which is, yeah, it gets Close Combat now, which is absolutely incredible. It gets Gyro Wall. It gets Pursuit, which I didn't know, which is very useful. Rock Slide as well to deal with flying types, so it's a really solid mon overall. It gets Toxic as well. It's a Steel type that may not get Stealth Rocks, which is something that I really want to look at getting, but unfortunately, this was not only the best Steel type around, it was also a Spin Blocker, which is very important because I want to make sure that I have what is it called? I have Rocks up or Hazards up on my opponent's side of the field, and that's just super useful to have. We may not have a a Defiant Mon, but we do have a Contrary Mon in Serperior to deal with Defog, or help deal with Defog, kind of. But anyways, this thing helps me deal with Psychic types, it helps me deal with other Ghost types, it helps me deal with Fairy types. Overall, it's just a really good mon. It really helps me as well with Flying types. You look at my roster, Flying types just absolutely eat me alive right now. I have no resists, and this is my first one, and it's really, really good against those types. So hopefully you can do a lot of work for us. The big thing is if you get a Swords Dance up with this thing, if your opponent doesn't have the right mons on their roster, then they just lose straight up to it. So hopefully we can have a couple games like that. It's amazing coverage options are really, really going to be useful for us this season. Our next mon, at this point, I'm looking around, we have, I believe it was 23 points, and I had a couple of different ways I could go. I was looking at grabbing some, like a really expensive mon, like a 17-pointer again, because at this point, I could have grabbed another Uber being 18 points or higher, but just, we had to grab an 18-point mon because our Ubers were capped at 41 points. But all the Ubers that I could have grabbed, like Ash Greninja, or I think it was Protein Greninja, one of them was in 18-point tier, they all got taken early. So did Galarian Darmanitan, so did, I can't remember what the other one was, but there was 3 of them that were in that tier that I was really looking at, and they all got taken. So unfortunately I could not grab another Uber, which really sucks, but it is what it is. With 23 points at this point, I found that one thing that we can really look at is just adding a bit more to our bulk, adding a bit more protectiveness to our team. And one thing that Aaron told me in another league was that he found that defensive fire types were really important in the format. And I went over this with I believe it was with Dai and with Aaron and with a couple other guys, and I just decided, you know what, we're going to go the route of grabbing something that was a bit of a mid-tier mon that would allow us to get some lower tier mons later on, because at this point our lowest point mon is at 6 points, and that's Qwilfish. Everything else is above that, which is really good. We've been able to really diversify our team and make so we don't have any weak points on our roster. Obviously we don't have any super high peaks other than Lugia and Megalopunny, but still we have some really good mons on our team. That being said, something that would help us tie it all together would be another fire resist. Something that would help us out a lot would be another grass resist, seeing as we have our well, we have quite a few actually. We have Lugia, Serperior, and Vicabolt, but yeah, and double. Why did I even say grass resist? Anyways, it was just something that really helps us out a lot, and it gave us something that would be very important, and that's something with really good abilities. This is one of my favorite mons of all time. I don't use it very, very well. At least I didn't in, I believe it was Gen 6 the last time I used it, so it's been a while. But I went with Arcanine here. Arcanine was 14 points. it's really good in this game. It gets Intimidate, so that's our third Intimidator. So physical offensive mons are going to have a really tough time against us, which is very nice, especially with the combination of those three mons being Qwilfish, Arcanine, and Krookodile with Lugia, or with Serperior, or with Aromatisse, is going to be incredible. It also gets Flash Fire, so it's a fire immunity there if I need it to be. And one thing that was very important that Jay pointed out to me, it gets Justified. Justified is amazing because it's going to force my opponent to make a decision. Do I go for knockoff on Lugia, or do I not? If I go for knockoff and I get the Lugia, amazing. But if I go for knockoff and I go into and goes into his Arcanine, he gets the +1 physical attack, which is going to be very, very tough to deal with. So we were kind of thinking, should we pair Lugia with a Terrakion, with a Cobalion, with a Virizion, something like that? But having Arcanine get Justified as well is very, very important. If this got sniped, I probably would have gone Entei just because of the defensive fire type. But at the end of the day, Arcanine gives me a really good speed at base 95, amazing overall stats, 90 HP and 80 in both defenses is fantastic. A 110 attack with its ridiculous physical attacking move pool and 100 special attack is amazing. You look at its move pool, like Close Combat, Crunch, Dragon Pulse, Outrage, Play Rough, all the fire moves you get, Extreme Speed, you get Iron Head for fairy types, Psychic Fangs now is a move that it gets to destroy light screen or Reflect is very useful, and you also get Momentum now in Teleport. If you guys didn't know, Teleport, just like in Let's Go, will have you switch out into an opponent's or a Pokemon of your choice. It's kind of like Baton Pass is, just without the stat boost, so very useful there. Anyways, Arcanine is here. It's going to be a really good pairing for our team. You look at us, right now we have 5 mons that are over 10 points, but then you look at the rest of our team, it's just really well balanced. And it kind of shows at this point in time, we have the most points left, and no one can actually take my final mon, which is going to be 8 points. So because of that, I am going to take a mon with 1 point here. And I want to shout out, I think it was Aaron that brought this up. We're going to draft a mon here that has 100 base attack, that can trap your opponent, and is just going to be a really niche, I guess, fun mon to use. I've made Volbeat work, I've made Kadabra work, I've made Marini work, and we're going to be trying the next line of that, which is going to be Trapinch. Trapinch was 1 point. It gets access to Arena Trap, and with access to the Focus Sash, I can guarantee live a hit no matter what, fire off a 100 base power Earthquake against my opponent, and just do tons of damage. That's going to be incredible. If my opponent, if I go into something like, let's say they have something that's just not going to be able to get the job done against me, and they're not going to be able to KO a Trapinch, I don't have to run a Focus Sash. I can just run Earthquake with a Choice Band and just do a ton of damage. But the best part about this is, and it's very, very nice to have, because I didn't know it got this until now, not until now, but until right as I drafted it, this thing gets First Impression. So I can run a Choice Band First Impression set, and that's going to do a ton of damage. So if a bulky Psychic type, if a bulky Dark type, whatever, bulky Grass type comes in and gets a KO on me, I can bring my Trapinch now, and I'll have a guaranteed way to do tons of damage. Look, this thing, 2 KOs Arceus Dark with First Impression. That's insane. Choice Band First Impression, 2 KOs Arceus Dark. Obviously, I can't run First Impression, I can't hit it twice, but still, if my opponent has Arceus Dark out on the field, it's taking around 50%, I'm going to have First Impression. And that thing can go down, which is absolutely amazing. So, Ishan, I think you're the one that drafted Arceus Dark. You got to watch out for Trapinch. Our final mon, I really needed something that would give me more hazards. At this point, my rock setters is Krookodile, it's Trapinch, and now it's Minior. Minior gives me a mon that it gives me a lot of utility because it gets Shell Smash, it gets access to Stealth Rock, it gets access to, I believe, Defog now as well. Does it get Defog? I don't think it does. I thought it did. Rapid? No, it does not. Alright, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's just a mon that can help me deal with fire types, help me deal with flying types. It's just a really solid mon overall that allows me to get an extra dimension to my team. It lets me sweep a bit, which is nice, and it just adds another win con into my roster. So hopefully Minior can do a lot of work. I really want something like Shell Smash this generation, because I really like the concept of Shell Smash. It just allows you to win games so easily if you can get it off. So I really want to hopefully grab something like that. And Minior is going to be that mon. When it's in Shield's down mode, it has 100 attack and special attack, which is amazing. 120 speed, so that puts us right in the range between Lugia and it's going to be Megalopunny now and with Serperior, so that's amazing. So they have to still run they still have to run mons that are going to be jolly against me if they're slower than Lopunny. So yeah, look, I'm excited for this. I am hoping that Minior can put in a lot of work. I think our team of 10 mons, I believe it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's 11 mons actually. Our team of 11 mons could put in a lot of work. Really hoping that we can do well. We've been kind of sneaking into playoffs or not making playoffs at all this season, the past few seasons of BBL, so I'm hoping that we can do a lot of work and just maybe just obliterate our competition. It's going to be on Showdown this season. I put out a poll on my Twitter recently. I'm actually on my first game tonight. the poll was that did I want to do, or should I do live comms or post comms for this? And because it's on Showdown, and I've been doing live comms lately because of the way Sword and Shield works, I'm going to be doing live comms for this. I'm going to be doing the editing for the layouts after. So really hoping, fingers crossed, that we can do a lot of work in our Showdown battles. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time.